We've transferred our applique onto our pillow, but it's not stable. It needs to get stitched down. In order to do that, we're going to use a decorative stitch. I'm going to use a zigzag. And just for instructional purposes, I'm going to use some contrasting thread. So I have bright green on the top and kind of a mauve on the bottom so that you can see the top thread and the bottom thread. I'm going to set my machine, the machine to a zigzag, so that is stitch number 4. And I'm going to start right in the middle, making sure that I'm going to go by hand. I'm going to use the balance wheel and go back and forth by hand a few different times to make sure I'm happy with the straddle, because the needle is going to go on the inside and the outside, and it's going to straddle the applique. And I want to make sure that I'm nice and straight and even as I'm coming to the corner. I'm going to pivot, and because these squares are kind of curved, I'm going to do it very slowly. I'm raising the presser foot a little bit, twisting the fabric, bringing it down. And so my pivot is just a little slower than normal, but it's because I'm making a rounded corner as opposed to a square corner. And once I'm ready to go, I can press on the foot pedal again, and I can go all the way down. So I'm trying to make sure that my zigzag is nice and straight. It's nice and even. And I'm going to do a square pivot just to show the difference. So when I do a square pivot, down, up, 90-degree turn, and then I'm going to shift things around to make sure I'm happy with it. And if I wanted to make the zigzags close together, I would use the stitch length button, and I'm making the zigzags actually closer together. So it's almost a satin stitch, and in a minute I'll show you those. I'm just going faster because it gets a little dull watching someone else sew. Again, I'm going to do my, whoop, not quite ready. And I'm going to make my zigzags a little skinnier too. So you can adjust this, and you would do this on a piece of practice fabric, pardon me. And I'm going to go to the corner, and again, doing that straight. Now, with the zigzag, we don't back stitch, but what we can do is we can do a locking stitch, and that's this button. It looks like a little bullseye. If we hit that, that'll automatically do what we call a locking stitch. A little couple teeny tiny stitches all in once. So that's what it looks like. Pull it out, snip the thread, and you can see that our applique is attached. Looks pretty nice. This is the back, and you can see the difference in the types of stitches, the lengths that I've used, and the stitch width, the stitch length, that kind of thing. Nice and stable.